Module Overview. This module seeks to immerse you in the fundamental and advanced concepts of perspective drawing and spatial awareness. It enables the effective translation of three-dimensional environments onto a two-dimensional surface using mathematical precision, observational acumen, and spatial logic. By mastering this module, you will acquire the capacity to render architectural structures, landscapes, interiors, and conceptual environments with believable depth, proportional accuracy, and spatial harmony. Introduction to Spatial Perception. Before delving into formal perspective systems, it's crucial to understand spatial cognition, how artists perceive, internalize, and translate three-dimensional environments into two-dimensional sketches. Visual field mapping, interpreting foreground, middle ground, and background. Foreshortening. Awareness, perception of compressed forms in space, overlapping in size. Scaling, tools for indicating spatial hierarchy without formal vanishing points. Linear perspective foundations. Linear perspective refers to the technique of creating the illusion of depth and space using geometrical guidelines and vanishing points. 1. Horizon line represents the viewer's eye level. All vanishing points rest along this line. 2. Vanishing points. Points on the horizon line where parallel lines seem to converge, used to construct accurate spatial illusions. 3. Orthogonal lines. Diagonal lines that recede toward the vanishing point. Help position objects in proportion and scale. Types of linear perspective. A. One-point perspective utilizes a single vanishing point, common in head-on views of roads, hallways, railway tracks, and interior scenes. All depth lines converge at one central location. B. Two-point perspective uses two vanishing points on the horizon line, often used for architectural or object corner views, creates more realistic angles and dimensionality. C. Three-point perspective includes a third vanishing point, either above or below, suitable for bird's eye or worm's eye views. Captures vertical foreshortening, height depth. D. Multi-point, Chaching curvilinear perspective incorporates more than three vanishing points. Used in advanced fantasy art, panoramas, or fisheye lens simulations. Demands strong spatial reasoning and freehand control. Understanding depth beyond linear rules. Not all spatial representation relies solely on vanishing points. A. Aerial atmospheric perspective. Distant objects appear lighter, blurrier, and less saturated. Mimics the scattering of light through the atmosphere. Used frequently in landscapes and environmental art. B. Color and detail. Reduction. Closer objects have sharper contrasts and defined textures. Helps reinforce depth perception without strict geometry. C. Overlapping in placement. Placing one object in front of another to imply space. Strategic overlap is a fast, intuitive method to suggest spatial hierarchy. Practical application of perspective techniques. A. Architectural drawing. Laying out streets, buildings, and interiors using grid systems. Maintaining consistent scale across repeated structures, e.g., windows, bricks. B. Still life and furniture sketching. Using perspective boxes to place furniture and objects convincingly in space. C. Character and figure drawing in space positioning. Figures within a scene using foreshortening and perspective grids. Grounding characters properly with shadows and line of action. D. Scene composition. Leading the viewer's eye through compositional flow using perspective lines. Creating dramatic viewpoints through tilted horizon lines or dynamic angles. Tools for perspective mastery. T-squares and rulers for precise line work. Perspective grids, manual or digital to maintain accuracy. Elliptical templates for cylindrical objects in perspective. Digital perspective tools, Photoshop, Procreate, Krita, for modern workflows. Common perspective errors and corrections. Multiple horizon lines. Scenes must stay consistent. Tilted vanishing points leads to skewed visuals. Incorrect proportions. Misuse of grid spacing causes unrealistic object sizes. Neglecting eye level results in disorienting spatial relationships. Solutions include pre-planning with thumbnail sketches, establishing dominant vanishing point logic before detailing, using light construction lines and checking symmetry. Stylistic approaches to perspective. Loose for given perspective. Stylized for cartoons or concept art. Hyper-real perspective, used in architectural and industrial design. Forced perspective, creative manipulation to dramatize or distort space.